I'm Andrew Featherstone, and I directed Nekro-fancy, mainly because I like to direct and I can't write. So Nikkia Lovejoy wrote it. We came up with the story together, and Nikki ran with it, and luckily she's an amazing writer, and I think you're going to like it. It's an everyday love story. Only one of them happens to be dead, and so it's a really romantic movie, really, in a way. So I think you're going to like the romanticism of the movie. And it's really about someone desperately seeking his true love, which he thinks he finds. And you'll have to watch the rest of it to find out what actually happens. But well, we had some interesting times on the set. The story was very elaborate, and the original draft, I think, was almost 50 pages. So we had to get down to 20, and it was a struggle to get down to that 20 minutes. We probably could have shot a full feature with our short, and actually that's probably what made it really good, because it's just bang, 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 bang all the way through. One of the interesting things is, of course, being very low budget, we had to come up with some crazy effects and some shocking things in our movie. So we had a couple of dream sequences. I love dream sequences because you can do pretty much whatever, and you can just say, it's a dream sequence. You mess it up, it's a dream sequence. So we had this dream sequence where we wanted to projectile vomit onto our lead actor, and so I bought some food-grade mealworms, and luckily our actress was a little crazy, and sorry about this, Misty, but she did agree to put live mealworms in her mouth. I don't think she really agreed to it until the actual day, and we just basically were like, you put some mealworms in your mouth. So she didn't do it once, but she did it 3 times. And it's a good scene if you're ready to hurl. And when we were shooting, I think, the second take, and even Jessica was like, well, let's take advantage of this. And that was great about Jessica. She's like, just cover me in plastic and we'll let her throw up on me. And I'm like, hell yeah. So we basically covered Jessica in plastic. We put a piece of glass over the camera lens to protect her camera, and she hurled live mealworms into the camera. On the second take, we did 3 takes. On the second take, she put her head back, and I guess some of the mealworms and blood went back down her throat, and so she actually did projectile vomit. And I almost did too. So that's right there, I was kind of like, this is going to be awesome, because if it's making me ill, I know it's going to make everybody else ill. So we really wanted a gut reaction, and I think we got it. So, and then it freaked everyone out, because when we yelled cut and everyone walked off, when we were pulling everything off, a little bit of blood got on Jessica's lens, and so we were like, oh my god. So we were freaking out there, but we managed to get it off. But corn syrup is a bitch to get off a lens, let me tell you that. Also, too, another interesting thing was we were shooting at a local house, and we got an amazing house for literally a couple of $100 a day, and it was beautiful. And I kept, telling the guy, I didn't quite tell him exactly the storyline, because I didn't want to say, hey, we're gonna have a bunch of naked chicks, coming out of your you're gonna dig some graves and have them come out of the house. So we basically, little by little, told him what we were doing. And the actual day of the scene we were shooting, of course, he hung around, and he said, I'm going to get my daughter to come up because she really likes Vampire Diaries. And Vampire Diaries, this is not. And so I was just freaking out. So we had all these extra guys just kind of cover up as much as we could of the set, and we basically had these half-naked girls coming out of the grave and projectile vomiting. And I really just thought, any minute now he's going to walk up with a shotgun and go, boy, you need to get off my property right now. So we were just freaking out, and thought we were going to be kicked out any minute. And but we didn't, and it was amazing. So can't wait to see the finished product. Pretty cool. What's really interesting about this project is that I'm pretty much the only guy, the 3 female directors and writers so it was kind of interesting being the one slightly testosterone guy in the project, and everyone else is female. So it's going to be really cool project because women in horror is a beautiful thing. So it's going to be really how do I put this? Just a different perspective that they offer. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Hi, I'm Nikkia Lovejoy. I'm the writer of Nekro-fancy. I guess my inspiration would come from my youth. I grew up with a Baptist preacher for a father, so I was kind of inundated with a lot of Christian beliefs and church and religion and that kind of thing, so it definitely plays a big part in the story. It's kind of a romance about a fella who is kind of unsure of himself. He really likes dead girls. But when he meets a live one, she kind of tickles his fancy, so to speak, and it leads him down a road of mystery, shall we say. I don't want to give it all away, but it has religious undertones, and it's horror to the nth degree, because that's what I love. And that's about it. That's where I get my inspiration from.